You might consider this statement to be crazy. The problem of society, the problem with us all, is knowledge. Or should I say, the wanting of knowledge. In the Bible it says, money is not the root of all evil. It says it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. Well, that's for the individual to find out and to realize whether it's true or not. It is possible to realize or not many statements. This is another statement that you need to realize. It's not knowledge that corrupts mankind. It's the love of knowledge. Though knowledge does corrupt, but not to the same extent as the love, the craving of knowledge. I must know, I must know, I must know. Yes, of course, it's important to know a lot in life. But once we know something, we forget about it. We don't have to know that water is H2O to enjoy water. You don't need to know anything about electricity to enjoy the warmth of the heater or the practical use of the cooker. I needed to know that certain plant or those leaves would poison me if I ate it. Those sort of things we need to know. But we don't go around with that kind of knowledge in our head. If you like, we see the knowledge. Once you've been given the knowledge, once you've been given the understanding, you see it. You see the points of the scissors. It's a knowledge that you already have about the danger of certain bits of metal like knives and scissors. You see the importance because you've already been taught. You've been given that knowledge, but you've experienced that knowledge. But the knowledge that we tend to hold on to creates barriers with us all. It creates division. It creates greed. It creates animosity. It creates irritability and frustration and fatigue and anxiety. We get anxious about not knowing this or wanting to know about that. This love of knowledge, this craving for knowledge, is what creates such a lot of animosity within us, amongst us all. Such a lot of wariness, looking over our shoulder all the time. People want to know. One of those reasons for why we want to know is to protect ourselves, to give us security. It becomes a weapon to defend ourselves. It becomes a weapon for I know best. An attack. Knowledge is used to attack. That belongs to me, and I must get it. I must hold on to it. I must never let anyone else have it. It creates tensions. It creates division. It takes us away from being love and happiness and joy and delight amongst our friends and family. My teacher, Adidas Samraj, has told me many times that we must not get involved, emotionally involved. The body-mind is always already happy, but because of this involvement, because of this clenching onto this and clenching onto this, grasping this and grasping that, to do with knowledge, we create unhappiness. He calls it the self-contraction. To have knowledge can be very happy. Knowledge is a happiness that we need. It adds to the pleasure of life and the safety of life, of living. But this love of money and this love of knowledge creates, as I've said, anger, anxiety, fear, animosity. Can you simply enjoy reading something without grasping hold of that knowledge in order to create a better image of ourselves, to give us one-upmanship? I know these are words. I know this is a design. I know that that's a barcode. I know the weight of the contents. I know the sell-by date. Knowing sell-by dates can cause difficulties amongst us all. There's this one person saying, oh, it's okay, don't worry about that. It's got another 2 or 3 weeks. Another person, no, you've got to do what it says here. It's a sell-by date. And look at this, it says use by date and sell-by date. That bit of knowledge can create problems. 100 grams, that bit of knowledge can create problems. It says it's 100 grams here. I've just weighed it, it's only 80 grams. I'm going off to the supermarket and complain. Or it's got 112 grams. Oh, great, I've got 2 grams extra. I'm fed up with this non-recycling plastic. See, we can use, knowledge is, it's used in this way much of the time. You know, I remember saying that to that person, don't do that, and look at him, he's still doing it. I remember that I said, don't do that, don't use that. It gives you a heart attack. It raises your blood pressure. It's what we do with the knowledge that does all that. Knowledge in itself doesn't create any problems. It's what we do with this knowledge, our emotional attachment to knowledge. And look how much people are paid for certain knowledge. Doctors, solicitors, plumbers, electricians. And you hire someone and they give you a quote, say £158, and then they ask for £220. Oh yes, but I had to work longer. Oh yes, but I had to go and get some. Oh yeah. I mean, the other day, he said he worked on the car for 5 hours. No way did he. He charges £45 an hour. And he said to me at the beginning of the day, I've got 2 other cars to work on as well. No way did he do 5 hours, but he paid for 5 hours work. What do we do? Are we going to stay in this happy disposition and just accept? Adidas says, whatever comes our way, no matter what the problems are, we can sort it all out happily. We can discuss things happily. We don't need to add our individual emotional take on it all. So this grasping of knowledge, you want to know about me? We say, how are you today? Very few people are going to say, well, I got this and I got that and I got this. We usually just say, oh, fine, thank you. Leave it at that. Oh, but you look very tired. Oh, well, people upstairs are doing this, that, and the other. They wake me up at 5 in the morning. So, the job of Adidas is to enlighten us, and possibly me too, to enlighten us to the fact that no matter what is occurring, no matter what is arising, the natural state, the inherent state of the body-mind, you might think otherwise, is already happy. But this self-contraction, this self-contraction says otherwise. The self-contraction is at the root of our unhappiness, our anxiety, our fear, our wanting to know more, more, more. So as I said right at the beginning, nothing wrong with having a lot of money, nothing wrong with having lots of knowledge. But it's this grasping hold, this clinging, this emotional attachment, this ruination of happiness, of tolerance, of patience, of cooperation, of serving one another. So, hope that's helped. Knowledge is useful. Money is very useful. But we don't need to get emotionally upset about it all. And how do we not do all that? Negative stuff. It's not a case of remaining positive. It's remaining in communion with the God-man, in communion with the divine, remembering the sun and forgetting the clouds, remembering the agent, remembering the bridge to God. Already happiness, already joy, already delight, the open hand disposition. Not this, but this. The sun, not the clouds. Thank you for listening. Realize, notice in your daily lives what you're doing to create unhappiness for yourself and for others. But it's being responsible. Not to blame anybody. No more finger pointing. Thank you.